Alright, my good people of Volkswagen Group, welcome to another show of our Volkswagen, which is the 2026 Volkswagen Atlas. Yes. I know many of you guys have been waiting for this vehicle for a very long time, and finally we have it here. And if you watch around now, um, in just past few days, Highlander, yes, Toyota Highlander, released their own 2026 flagship Highlander, um, which is nothing compared to our own. Yes, if you look at it very well from here, you see that it's nothing compared to ours. Um, okay, alright, what do you want to say? Um, you just say something saying that unlike the Highlander, 2026 Highlander, the Atlas is greater than it. I want to know an aspect of you because I know in terms of engine, the Atlas is only equipped with 2-liter turbocharged four-cylinder and 8-speed transmission. Yes, whereas the Highlander, as the last time I checked for the 2026, do come with a 2.4-liter, 2.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder as well, and also a hybrid. So I think it's kind of bigger than your own. Or is there anything you want to say about it? Okay, one thing is what you have to know. A brand, yes, I might agree that we are not popular or something like that, just like Highlander or Toyota. You understand? But I can tell you for you that we don't really need to be this thing. We don't really need to be famous for us to be doing. You understand? Just like I do now, you say something that made me understand something. You understand? The only thing there is that we don't have the hybrid um powertrain. Do you copy? We don't have the hybrid powertrain. Is that what? And also that is what gives the Highlander an advantage over us. Do you understand? That is what exactly gave the Highlander an advantage over us, because that hybrid will help the miles per gallon and fuel efficiency of that vehicle. But in terms of every other thing, I consider ours the best. Do you understand? I consider ours the best, regardless of any other thing. Do you understand? So that's it that I have to say in terms of addressing this own opinion. So anyway, the Duke of SUV is on his way. So when he comes, I think he will carry on from where we stopped earlier. So that's the thing for now. Is there any more question, or should we wait for him? At this point is where I'm glad by your feedback. It doesn't need to be famous for you to rely on them. Yes, you know that Toyota have made a big name in terms of reliability. So, but since you've cleared the air, it's such a good thing in which we will still proceed further and still invest in this Volkswagen Atlas. For the needs, we see much hope. Not that hope is too much, but we still need more. We still hope. We still hope in it, but at least you guys should try and make a two trims version of that. You understand? You guys to try and make it two trims. Slowly, I think Acura is taking over, but let's leave that aside. You guys should try at least this on 5 trims now. You guys have the Volkswagen have at least 5 trims of it. I think they are big enough to have this separate like startup base engine as the 1.4-liter. Then something like V6 engine. This is an SUV, not a sedan. So you understand. And In terms of a long journey, it will be like the V6 engine will be needed, and if need be, I will say that this 1.4 2-liter turbocharged four cylinder should make a base engine in the upcoming year. And also, if need be, they should get rid of the turbo. Instead, the 3.5-liter engine they are going to um, bring, if you guys will do it, will better be fused with that V6. Like the turbocharger will be fused with the V6. That's my opinion. I think that's just the best I think I could say. But anyway, the Volkswagen Atlas is such an infamous good vehicle, and to those watching it, yes, there's something like the Atlas vehicle, and if you don't find it more understanding here, maybe you can Google about it. It's such a good vehicle to me, really a very good vehicle for that matter. All right. We've heard you. As an investor, I would say that's a very good opinion and what you say. I try and reach out to the headquarters. You understand? Yes, I try to reach out to the headquarters. What you said is a very good thing. As an SUV, I believe we should have something like that optional four-cylinder V6, and I can see you are saying that acura is taking over slowly, but nobody have seems to notice that. You understand? And for you also that say that we should try and make it analog, I understand. So all these things I've heard what to say, but also understand that I don't have the final say. You understand? But I pass the information to headquarters for them to look forward to that and see what they can do to it. You understand? And I believe that they also look forward in all of those things. Just as you guys say. Once again, thank you guys for having me. Like, I'm grateful for having you guys with me today's Atlas show. And once again, thank you guys for coming in. Yeah, thank you guys for coming in. I do very appreciate. Now I think we have to go and spread the good news of the Volkswagen Atlas, so it will attract some buyers within the market. And also, I promise to give your feedback to the headquarters so they could know what else to do. But anyway, that's such a good thing. Thank you guys for having me. I think see you by this time next year on our Volkswagen Atlas 2028. Sorry, 2027. Thank you guys for coming. See you. Alright guys, you guys have heard it, and in summary, for those that doesn't understand, this is the 2026 Volkswagen Atlas. Yes, I know that most of us aren't familiar with that. We are just familiar with the Volkswagen brand, but in terms of the Atlas, which is the specific name for an each vehicle, I don't think most of us are famous with it. What is being dragged on here is the yes, like this Volkswagen Atlas is a mid-size luxury SUV, three-row mid-size luxury SUV, just like the Toyota Highlander, which I posted in the last video. In terms of horsepower or powertrain, the Highlander do come with a 2.5, 2.4 turbocharged four-cylinder and a hybrid engine. You understand? They have the hybrid model and non-hybrid, which is only the gas, which I see that I would recommend the hybrid model. I recommend the hybrid model more than the non-hybrid. You understand? And the way auto companies are making it nowadays, I don't think is much more okay than that, because these turbos, if anything should be going on with the engines, it have to be the turbos. You understand? Although that turbos are level, but I don't. Unto me, just that just they should try and leave it for naturally aspirated. If turbo should be included. They should go for the higher V6 and include that too. But for this Volkswagen now, it's not a 2.5 or 2.4, it's just a normal 2 liter turbo 4 cylinder, no hybrid, just that. And in terms of where it is more powerful, like in terms of its powerfulness with the Toyota, which they have been talking here, I think they are the two are on par with, like they are the same in terms of title. The Toyota Highlander produces 268 or 73 horsepower, whereas the Volkswagen produces the same. You understand? The only advantage the Highlander has is the hybrid. Yes, in which I don't know if some of you know how it was, but if you don't know, maybe you can ask, like write in the comment section. I will help you with that one. But the hybrid will help with the fuel efficiency. So okay, let me say for instance, as a hybrid model, if 2 liters of fuel will go something like 20 kilometers for Highlander, for the hybrid, then the 2 liter for the same 2 liter you put in the Atlas will go for like 15. This is just an example. That's what I mean in terms of fuel efficiency. But other than those things, in terms of design, the two are almost the same thing. Yes, just seeing the Highlander and Volkswagen in terms of design, I don't think there is a clear winner here. But if I should proclaim a clear winner, I will give it to the Volkswagen. Reason that I'm giving it to the Volkswagen is because of their headlight. This headlight is standard adaptive headlight. Yes, standard projector premium adaptive headlights. Adaptive headlight, those ones that are being computerized, that has the ability to on and off themselves or dim. Toyota do have it, but you will get limited. When this Atlas is just the standard for all. The Volkswagen Atlas do have just 5 different trims, but even to the highest trims of it, they do come standard with this projective LED premium adaptive headlights. So that's the reason that's going to win over the Highlander. But coming to the rear as well, you can agree with me that the rear of this Volkswagen looks more matured than the Highlander. Of course, you can see that. Then comes the interior. Viewing the interior, I could just say that the two is almost identical. Like this is a head-on battle. In terms of inside luxury SUV, these are like head-on battle. Yes. Number one for me, I do love the seat perforation of this Volkswagen, even with their 14-way power adjusting and every other button that's located below at the downside of it. I do love how it is very positioned. Though the Highlander is well positioned, but for me, I'm just telling you my own mind. Yes, seeing from my own side, I do love how the Volkswagen do put their own, and as well as their interior. But one thing is what I do love the most in the interior of the, like, I just love the interior for very good reason. And if you see the interior of the Highlander, it's very good, of course, you understand. But it's very good, of course. Like, but remember, they are not better than the Acura, you understand. So just know that one. But moving on, the two interior are just the best. But in terms of the interior, reason that I'm saying that the Highlander will take the lead here is because of the analog buttons. You understand, the presence of buttons and knobs, which will make control more easier in terms of driving, and for our grandparents or parents that are not used to all these touchy interior type of it. And just like as you can see here in the Volkswagen Atlas. Volkswagen Atlas, there is almost no single button here. Instead, they just operate by swiping. You understand? So everything's by swipe, which is not that kind of safe when you can't. Like, yes, it's not safe when driving, and also it will take time for you to get used to it. which not everybody is more used to all these technology things, especially aged people. But for the Highlander, they just make this simple and practical for everybody, even the gear lever. I do love how they put the gear shift for this one. I'm still saying it. I like this is still one of my favorite gear shifter in most of the vehicle. It makes you feel exactly what you need to feel. But for the Volkswagen at last, it's just electronically controlled gear lever. Yes, electronically. Seeing the two dashboard or infotainment screen display, they are digital, but the digital in the Volkswagen is more advanced than the Toyota, and the infotainment screen display for the Toyota is more advanced than the Volkswagen. See that? But anyway, I do love the two, but I must say something. But for you, I think you might go for the Highlander, but for me, I think I can cope with the Volkswagen. But the really issue there is that when buying all these things, you have to check the availability of the spare part and maintenance. Over here in Nigeria, I can say that people know how to maintain the first one. Like mechanic have the experience, but the main issues at times is that the spare parts aren't much available as the Toyota, and they are also reliable more than the Mercedes. Yes, Volkswagen is even more reliable than the Audi. I know that they do have some kind of hand in Audi, but they are more reliable than the Audi. You understand? They are more reliable than the Audi. And I can tell you that for free that I do love their engine. Yes, I once worked as an auto electrician, so I do know what I'm saying here. But for me now, even if there is a case that I should go for these two, honestly, I go for the Volkswagen if they have the availability of the spare part piece, because it's what Toyota uses to win that some of us don't know. Toyota now, go and check very well. They are still making reliable vehicle, I agree, but they are tampering with it at times. You understand? They are tampering with it. I mean, you may not believe what I'm saying, but very soon you understand it very well. They are tampering with it. Especially for this Highlander, Sequoia, and Tundra, especially. They are moving on. For the technology features, they all have the same wireless phone charging, cup holders, what is that, drive mode selector, just every other panoramic sunroof. But another score for the Toyota Highlander is the optional interior view dimming camera, which you won't see in the Volkswagen Atlas. I don't think so. You will see that. And with the tri-zone climate control, the two do offer the tri-zone climate control as well. Yes, with your center storage, that is also a very good thing. But above all, the Toyota interior is top notch and simple and practical for everybody. But to me, I think I love to try. Like, I just love the Volkswagen. I don't know why. I just love the Volkswagen for some reason. So I think I go for the Volkswagen. For me, even the parts are not available, but for those people that can't get it easily like that, I think Toyota is still the best. But Volkswagen do make an awesome vehicle, I swear. Then going to the second row seat, every car nowadays or SUV nowadays are adopting that pattern of captain chair, which is something that is very good. Like, it's just very good, I must say that. Forget the bench sitting. This captain chair is top notch. And seen from the Volkswagen here, you can see that you do have your cup holder at the middle and your climate control at the center, yes, which you can control independently with your vents at the pillar. I'm seeing the third row seat of this Volkswagen. It's almost the same thing. Like, this is just head on head for the Toyota and Volkswagen. It's almost the same thing with the Highlander. It's also fit there, like it can fit the adults very well, and they can slide and adjust, recline anywhere you want it. Let it be that you see comfortability in it, just as it is in the Toyota Highlander. And also, coming to the trunk capacity, with the third row system, we have a 21 cubic feet, same as the Highlander. Second row seat, you have a 43 inches, and every seat folded down. It's something liquid of trunk capacity. This is almost the same thing with the Toyota Highlander, and I must say that they are just very good with their power tailgate. Above all, I'm gonna say these two vehicles did a very good job in terms of interior, design, and technology. But where they are lacking behind is the single, or let me say one option powertrain that they do offer, which is this 4-cylinder. But they are trying to use the turbo and replace the V6, like they are trying to use the turbo and overwork the V6 instead of putting the naturally aspirated V6 it does needed to have. That's why it seems that the Toyota, so it seems that the BMW, Acura, Mercedes GLS, not GLE. For those ones, these ones are the ones that I reviewed so far in my channel, and Genesis. That's why Honda, yes, Honda. That's why it looks they are the best so far that I reviewed in my channel. Other than the Mercedes GLE, the Mercedes GLE do have a 2 engine option, and for me, I will see that their 4-cylinder is not it. You just go for that, their V6, yes, to get everything that you want. But above all, I think I prefer this Volkswagen. Other than that, I just prefer the Volkswagen more than the Toyota, I must tell you. And Toyota again is tampering with their plate. I have my reason, but anyway, let's reserve the comments for now. Anyway, guys, that's all for today's video. If you made this far in watching, so please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and maybe comment or opposition what you like or any other thing you feel like. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.